guys tuned in you guys thought that you tuned in because the Halloween horror stream was going to be playing the Callisto Protocol, but the actual Halloween horror stream is the realization that the inevitable impending human reliance on artificial intelligence is going to degrade our overall society within 30 years. That is the real horror, and you can quote me on that. You should clip that. You should quote me. My fingers crossed that once the NVIDIA, Oracle, OpenAI, Ouroboros falls over, we will talk about LLMs like NFTs. That's not going to happen. If I could pick between that happening and not happening, I would pick that happening. That's not going to happen. People are going to become more okay with AI. Within 10 years, we're going to use it for everything. I use Gemini to keep track of my fucking workouts because it's so easy for me to punch it in. It's going to take over everything. I try to contextualize it as if I was in Star Wars and you just had little assistants that you could just talk to that would do things for you. But it is existential horror. It's a turning point for humanity in the worst. I think AI is inevitable. I think its normalization is unstoppable. But overall, I think it's a net negative for humanity, and I think it's bad. But I also don't think there is any stopping it. And I think the people who are shaming and attacking and dividing over other people who are trying to use it are only making it more popular and accelerating it. They're not helping the situation. There isn't a way to... I don't think there's a way to stop it. I'm very black-pilled on that. I think our best chance is to understand it, understand its features, and this is coming from somebody who overall doesn't really like the government. It's got to be regulated, man. It has to be regulated. Okay, I'm almost done with my fucking soapbox right here, but one thing, if you take anything away from this, I want it to be this. The reason that so many companies are spending so much money on artificial intelligence is because slavery is illegal and morally reprehensible. That's why. It is a way to create a new class of human, to a new class of being that can work for free and be exploited. That is why. That is why. Wants to charge you $500, how will you feel? I won't fucking use it. I'll write it in a physical notebook. Ain't no way I'm paying for that shit. But it's free right now to normalize it. The purpose, the reason it's being invested in so much is because if these companies want to spend as little money with as much profit as possible. This isn't surprising, but that's what it is. AI is being, the framing, the perspective you need to have on it is that artificial intelligence is being created to become a slave class without the moral backlash. It's not because these people think slavery is bad, by the way. It's because they don't want the backlash and inevitable uprising that comes from doing something so reprehensible and evil. It is... all of this financial pursuit of AI is not to send humanity into the future, open up accessibility tools for everybody, revolutionize the way we make art. It's not for any of that. It is for slavery. It is to create a mechanical slave being. That's why. That is why. Never used AI simply because you can do better than it can. Once it's better than me, I'll have to recross that bridge. Simple as. I've been using it since it debuted in like 2021, but it's because I fundamentally want to understand what I'm working with. I want to understand where it's going. I want to have as deep of an understanding of AI as I can at all times, because I knew right away that it was going to be a big deal and that it was only going to get bigger. They've been wanting this for years. Like, you guys, I don't know, you guys, a lot of people are all into AI now because it's you can't get away from it. But I remember back in like 2015 and 2016 reading about how much money Facebook was spending on developing an AI. I remember when there was this like hushed thing that people weren't really covering, that Facebook had to like pull the plug and shut down an entire building because the AI became self-aware and like started fucking with them. That was in like 2016 or 17, by the way. Like, they have been pouring. You guys, if you knew how much money had been spent on developing AIs, you wouldn't. You probably. I don't know, and the number they've told us is probably so far shy of the actual number that I probably wouldn't believe it. I'm actually thinking trillions of dollars. The amount of money that they've been spending on this to create a slave race, which is what this is. That is what AI is meant to be. It's bad.